Imagine a business that can charge ridiculous prices and your customers have no other choice. It's college. And today the US student loan debt stands at 1.8 trillion, with the average student over $38,000 in debt before even starting their first job. We were told that degrees mean job security, maybe if you're a doctor or if you're a lawyer, but I'm gonna show you 10 Coursera certifications, but they're better than most degrees, that actually teach you in-demand job-ready skills. All of these courses are free, and if you do want a certificate, you can pay a few bucks or use financial aid. Let's get started. Jumping into the first one, IBM AI Developer. And if there's one skill school is not gonna teach you, it's AI. Listen here, kid, this is how you write a prompt to ChatGPT. Now, AI is just moving too fast for schools to keep up, but online courses teach you everything that you need to know. So IBM created this program on the screen to help beginners become AI developers. Now, the average entry-level salary for an AI developer is over 80K per year, and you can often work from home as well, which is pretty cool. Now, this course has a near 5-star rating, and what college has a 5-star rating? Okay, Harvard actually does have a 4.6-star rating, but Harvard's really expensive and it takes years to get a degree there. But wait 1 second, Lucas. What's an AI developer? Now, it sounds really complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. They build apps that use AI, and basically it's developing software and putting AI in that software. Now, here's the curriculum. The first course is software, and then a course on AI. Pretty cool as well. It then goes into AI chatbots, all sorts of cool things. Yeah, those like, you know, annoying customer service bots that never actually give you a good answer. But just a warning, this stuff is great, but it does take some work. And the next course is more simple and requires no tech skills, which is good as well. 7 out of 10. All right, so next up is financial markets. And this is actually the only course that you need on finance. Because look, rich people get richer while the rest of us fall behind. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to learn what the rich people already know, and what better place to learn it from than a top university that's normally teaching the global elite, but 100% free. So I've actually taken the entire course myself, and I would recommend it any day of the week. Now, it took me about, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks to finish it, and it's going to teach you economics, how the stock market works, investing, things like real estate, mortgages, market crashes, basically everything that you need to know to stay safe and make smart, educated financial decisions. Seriously, if you could only take one course on finance in your entire life, this is the one that I would recommend, and it requires no experience. 9 out of 10. All right, stop everything. If you're looking for a cert that will help you make money and work from home, this is probably worth your time. And that is Microsoft's Data Analyst Cert. Now, becoming a data analyst is pretty cool. The median entry-level salary is 70K per year, and you can often work from home as well. Now, you're kind of like a detective for companies digging through data to find the best insights. And the best part is that you don't need a degree or any prior experience, and this Microsoft Cert is your way in. Now, it's not just another boring course with like videos that you have to watch. It's very, very practical. You're not focusing on memorizing things that don't really matter or sitting through boring lectures. You're actually using tools like Power BI to build, analyze, and problem solve. And you're learning the exact skills and things people are looking for when they're hiring somebody. But obviously, it's gonna take a lot of hard work and a lot of learning, but the next course is, in my opinion, even better. Sounds too good to be true, I get it, but let me show you. So programming jobs pay really well. That's why everybody's trying to sell you a programming course, but you don't actually need to spend any money, I promise you. So next up is IBM Full Stack Software Developer. Now, this course is actually free, and it's been rated 4.6 from over 10,000 reviews. And it takes you about 5 months at 10 hours per week to finish, and starts by teaching you kind of like the fundamentals of making software, programming, all that good stuff. But even better, it actually teaches you AI, because now those who do embrace AI succeed, and those who don't, they're in for a bad time, let's just say that. But you've heard people say that like a million times. Doesn't matter, but I really like how this course actually includes some AI, so you can kind of learn how to use it as a developer instead of just being replaced by it, which is the best solution in my opinion. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Now next up is Adobe Graphic Designer. Now, schools will teach you design and art, charging you tens or even hundreds of thousands for a piece of paper, when in reality you could learn practical, real, useful skills like graphic design online for pretty much free, or in this case, it's actually free. So Adobe created Photoshop, Illustrator, and lots of other applications used for graphic design. So if you do want to get into this field, save yourself tens of thousands and start learning skills that people actually care about. It takes you about 4 months at 10 hours a week, and it is top rated, almost 5 stars. And it's gonna teach you design while integrating AI into it. So here again, instead of going to an old university that teaches you BS, these guys actually prepare you for the real world. What companies hire for and hire real people for. But I do want to give like a warning here because you need to be very passionate in one of these creative fields. Let me be perfectly clear, okay? Graphic design is pretty hard to get into, and I only recommend it to people who have a real dream to, well, essentially do that as their dream job. So 8 out of 10, but only for the right person. Next up is the Google Digital Marketing and Ecom Certificate. That's a pretty long name, but it's actually quite simple. So over 1 million people have enrolled in this one, and they're onto something. You see, in just 6 months, part-time, you can get some of the most valuable skills on the planet. Because you know what all these business people know? They know marketing, they know sales, they know all that stuff. And now it's packaged into just one free program from a really good source, Google. I think it's incredible. But even better, you learn how to run ads, manage online stores, do all the marketing for companies, and you can use that to get hired for a regular job, whether that's on site or on remote, and you can start freelancing, or you can even launch your own business later. It's kind of like skipping a 4-year business degree and getting straight into the skills that people actually pay for. And look, I get it, college has its place, but marketing, in my opinion, is best learned by doing in the real world. And I will get some hate for it, but I stand by it. And I think the best part is that it's, from Google and it's free. So 8 out of 10. All right, then continuing on the Google train, we have the Google Cybersecurity. Now, cyber is one of the most high-paying fields at the moment, and these people that are working in cyber are pretty much swimming in cash, and the field itself is only growing because cyber threats are everywhere. I mean, I see governments getting hacked in the news left and right. I see like every single week something's happening.
Perceive the threats in cyberspace
and this organized criminality.
This cyber attack.
I guarantee that cybersecurity is going to be growing massively in the future for these reasons, and I would bet pretty much everything on it. The problem here is that getting into cyber isn't the easiest thing. You do need some tech skills, you need like all sorts of things until now, because Google kind of fixed it. They now offer a cyber course for just about anyone. And it takes you about 6 months at 7 hours a week, and it is top rated. But let me just make something clear as well. Like, can you go straight into this course and then go straight into a cyber job? No, that's not the way it works. You will need some IT basics, you will need some math, you will need a lot more cyber skills. But I still really enjoy this as kind of an entry point for beginners, or icing on the cake for experts. As you know, I really like this course and other people do too, so I think you would enjoy it as well. 9 out of 10. All right, next up is Google Project Management. And I promise this is the last Google cert in this video, but Google's pretty amazing. I mean, they have some of the best courses out there and they're free as well. Now, when I say management, it sounds pretty boring, like corporate and very complex. But really, it's quite simple and can be fun if you make it fun, and especially if you have a good job that pays you a lot of money. So every company runs various projects. It could include, creating new software, improving efficiency, building a house, whatever. And somebody needs to be a project manager to run the project. But when you start, you're not going to be running the projects yourself. You could be a sidekick to the big boss, where you're not going to be thrown into like the lines to fend for yourself when you get started. So don't worry about that at all. Now, this is a fantastic course, and I think it's around 6 months at 10 hours a week. No experience required, and it has a 4.9 rating from 120,000 reviews. I've never seen that before. Like, it's incredible. And without boring you with all the really specific details, you're gonna learn how to run a project from A to Z, and you can do some kind of projects and build a portfolio. I know it sounds funny to do a project in a project course, but you're still doing projects about doing projects, if that makes any sense. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I do love these courses. All right, so next up is a personal favorite of mine again. I feel like all of these are my favorites, but that's kind of the point of this video. And that is the Microsoft Cloud Associate. Now, I do hope that you're holding on because we're heading for the clouds. Yeah, very funny. There's this thing called cloud computing, and Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and other companies are heavily investing in it, in the thing called cloud. And Microsoft just launched its cloud support certificate. And if you're early, this could be your golden ticket into this really high-paying field. But wait a second, cloud support, what does that actually mean? So cloud support is really simple, actually. It's kind of like IT support, except that you don't just help fix broken computers and software, you're actually helping with broken cloud technology. And you can do it from home, and the best part is that it literally pays twice as much as regular customer service jobs. Yes, the salary for cloud support specialists is twice as high. Have a look yourself. We're talking 6 figures for a support position. And you can start this with no experience. Don't believe me? No, maybe not. Lucas, that sounds pretty fake. How's anybody paying that much for a support person? Well, it's pretty simple actually, because cloud skills are very rare compared to regular IT support skills. Anybody can answer like a regular support call, but very few people can help with cloud computing. So instead of competing with every call center, you're making serious money in cloud. And that's why I recommend it. 9 out of 10. And now I have something fun. If you enjoy staring at numbers all day, reviewing invoices and receipts, yeah, no, that sucks. But it's a pretty good job. That's why I recommend Intuit's bookkeeping certificate. Now, Intuit is arguably the most famous bookkeeping software, really popular on the market, used by a lot of companies. And by learning from them, you can jump straight into a job as a bookkeeper. Something that worries a lot of people is, do I need a degree? Do I need experience? Well, you don't actually need a degree if you want to become an accountant. Yes, you do. But if you want to become like a bookkeeper, you don't actually need that. Because for a bookkeeper, you can start from scratch if you learn the skills from a course like this. And yes, it is a boring job, but in this job market, a boring job is a safe job, and companies will need bookkeepers to comply with the law. So in my opinion, it's not going away anytime soon. 8 out of 10. Now, I also have a lot more certs that land people jobs right here. So goodbye, and I'll see you next time, my friend.